going on, everybody? Arty 84 here, live on this video in Boston, Massachusetts, here at Franklin Park in Boston. And I wanted to go explore something that's here. So Franklin Park's known for their zoo, which you've seen in the beginning, which I parked in there. And that zoo is not the original Franklin Park Zoo in Boston. In fact, the original part of the zoo was on the other side of the park, which we're walking to right now. And that was closed, I believe, in 1972. If I'm wrong, correct me below. But basically what happened was they had a zoo, they needed expansion, so they actually built it on the other side of the park because it needed to be bigger. But there are still some abandoned relics of the original zoo that was built in 1912. In fact, some bear pits that are left there. So I think it's up this way. Actually, I found this the other day by watching another YouTuber, Adam TWE. I've lived in Boston 38 years, never knew about this. So I decided to do some exploring. I had the day off, so I go for a walk and try to find these relics. Fun fact is, also in the movie Mystic River, scenes were filmed over here. So I'm going to try to find those scenes as well. Some certain areas. So follow me, I'm going to explore, I'm going to find this thing. It's going to be a good time on this beautiful July day. Alright, so I'm inside one of the original bear pits here at the Franklin Park Zoo, and it's actually kind of crazy. You can see the spikes up there, so the bears couldn't climb to come out. Not a lot of grass area. I'm assuming a lot of this is what it was when it was put together in 1912, closed in the early 70s. Looks like here's the cage which they lived in. And this is just in the middle of the park. It hasn't been touched for, well, going on 50 years now. It was last used. There was an opening in the fence over there. I had to make sure it wasn't climbed through any poison ivy. There are probably animals there, but let's look around, see what else we can find. As I'm walking around this one particular pit here, there is an even bigger pit. Apparently that's the pit. This is the encagement, but it goes down pretty deep. But my assumption is it's a lot deeper than it looks. Leaves and stuff had filled it up over the years, and looks like the trees growing in there and stuff like that. So I think it's probably, I would say, 10 feet deep. I don't even feel 100% confident walking on this stuff right here. This could be, you know, easily brittle if it hasn't been maintained. But this reminds me of what like the world would look like after it ended, and this is all that's left as nature takes it over. So there's a couple other parts I want to check out too. absolutely amazing to me. So this is the backside. My thoughts, correct me if I'm incorrect, birds everywhere. This was an entrance to the original zoo, and it wasn't that big. It was just kind of a smaller zoo, and those stairs in the front, we haven't shot those yet because we walked around, but I'll show those at the end. And these enclosements, this is above the stairs, was all just part of the original zoo that was just kind of left here to be abandoned. It's amazing. And actually, there's a scene in Mystic River, which, you know, there's the pit over there where I believe the body's found. And this road behind me is like the corner of this road is where the house is where they found the body, or sometimes I have to go back and watch the movie with some kind of relation to the street. I remember the street, I remember the park, I remember the pit. We'll see the pit in the middle a little bit, but it's just pretty crazy. And it's right here in the middle of a neighborhood in Boston, an abandoned zoo. With no animals, of course, but it's still in pretty decent condition. So I imagine this area I'm in right now is like the backstage area of the zoo, where how you got the animals in and out of the exhibit. And this door right here appears to be the way they let the bears in and out of the enclosure. And obviously in the front was all gated in, so the bears couldn't get out that way. But this is how they took them in and out in a safe way without people seeing, and the rest. And then there's the wall that extends all the way around this little compound. Kind of cool. So, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, it says in early 70s, it says been touched. And I don't think the city really has any plans to do anything with it, considering it's not bothering anyone. It's in the park, they're not doing anything with the space. It's just kind of there. And, you know, it hasn't become a danger yet. It's wide open for the most part. No one can get hurt, but it's a very interesting situation that you wouldn't expect in a major city. Usually, things in Boston don't stay abandoned for very long because they want to rebuild stuff. But since we're in a park, it's probably a little bit different story. But it's very interesting. One thing to note, if you do come here, just be cautious. It's a secluded part of the park, and there's not really anyone around. I would advise coming during the day. I think they close the park at night anyways, but people can still get in from the street. But there were some homeless people actually sleeping in the existent dens there, so I didn't bother them. I just kind of gave them their privacy or whatever like that. But just be cautious. You are in a park. It's a quiet little area. It's in a kind of an abandoned area too as well, so you know, one of those things I always like to put a disclaimer there in the front. But it's pretty impressive. If you ever get into Boston, you look for something to do that's out of the ordinary, you're not going to a Sox game or Bruins game or anything like that, and you want to kind of explore some of the interesting parts of Boston, well, here you are, abandoned zoo in the middle of the city. Amazing. downstairs you would have seen on Mystic River. And one of those pits that we looked into would also be one of the scenes from Mystic River as well. So there we go. It's the abandoned zoo in downtown Boston. The old Franklin Park Zoo, 1912 to early 70s, 1972 I think it was left, and the new park zoo was open on the other side. As always, I want to take this time to thank you guys if you made it this far into the video for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We do all types of things in this channel. We do baseball and sporting events. We do abandoned places. We do dead malls. We have a Lego city we're building. We do DIY projects around the house. We do pretty much everything. So if it's, especially in the Boston area, because that's where we live. So if you're into that kind of stuff, be subscribed. We got a new video or two every week. And we also do a podcast as well that's also on this channk. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Toodles.